Hello everyone, Russ of Aquarium here. I recently bought a very small specimen of Anubias Nana Petite. Let's go check it out. Today I was at the pet store and could not resist getting the smallest Anubias plant I've ever seen. And here it is. I'll lower it into the shot, set it down on these leaves, and you can take a look at that. Now, this was sold as Anubias Nana Petite, and I was able to see the parent plant as well, and the parent plant had more leaves, so it was larger in that sense, but the leaves weren't really any larger. And the pet store owner said that she had had that plant for about 6 years. So I'm confident that this particular cultivar is going to stay very small indeed. I'm pretty excited about it. I've always wanted to try some really tiny Anubias. And in fact, when I bought this larger Anubias, I bought it as an Anubias Nana, and I bought an Anubias Nana Petite at the same time, but it ended up being quite a bit bigger. I mean, it's still small, but quite a bit bigger than this specimen I have here on the driftwood. So I'm going to place it in a shady location somewhere in the tank and let it grow. Of course, Anubias grow very slowly, so it could be years and years before I have a larger Anubias plant like the one I saw in the store. But that's part of the attraction, the fact that they stay very small and grow very slowly. I think I've found the perfect spot for this little Anubias Nana Petite. I'm going to put it right here. I'm not too worried about how its positioning looks aesthetically at this point, because I'll probably be doing a rescape of this aquarium pretty soon. But I do want it to be in a place where it's not in extremely bright light, because Anubias thrives in shaded areas. It thrives in fairly dim light. If it's in light that's too bright, one problem that can result is that algae starts coating the leaves, and then the plant doesn't do as well. I actually have a tank right now in which Anubias has been growing for a few years without any overhead lighting, just ambient lighting, and it does really well. It's a nice deep happy green. So Anubias is one of those plants where a lot of light can be too much of a good thing, and keeping it a little shaded is often beneficial. If you've never tried Anubias and you're thinking about it, a couple of other tips that you can think about, besides the fact that it likes dim light, and it's a very tough and hardy plant recommended for beginners, is that the rhizome should never be buried in the gravel. As you note, this one is just attached to a piece of driftwood by its rhizome, which is a little bit difficult to see. Basically, the rhizome is a kind of creeping stem. You can see it a little bit there. And then the roots come off of the rhizome, and the leaves also extend from the rhizome. Let's see if you can see it a little bit better here. The rhizome is that sort of stem-like structure, and then the leaf petioles, or the leaf stems, extend from that, and the roots also extend from that. If that is not buried in the gravel, the plant will usually thrive, and if it is buried in the gravel, that part of the plant will begin to rot, and it will eventually mean the end of that Anubias if it's not corrected. So that is the biggest tip to think about when you're planting Anubias. Keep the rhizome out of the substrate, and make sure it doesn't get light that's too bright, and it should do really well for you. Thanks for watching. I post videos every Friday, all related to keeping aquarium and vivarium pets. You're most welcome to leave a comment and a like, and for those of you who are waiting for an animal voiceover at the end,
subscribe.